From the day we came here, we felt so welcome, and then to have had the experience with the pastor, the congregation, all the members, the elders, the faculty that took care of Ashley for us. We just can't say enough about St. John's and the love that it would have for anyone they're with. We had a daughter, Ashley. She was a member here. Ashley was sick with a very horrible, uncommon liver disease. She went to heaven when she was 31 years old, waiting for that liver that never got there in time. They held Ashley's hands and ours. They were there. It was amazing.
We're put in this position at this time in our life, and we just happen to have a church like this, and the pastors that we've had here. How does that work? Who did that? We could have been somewhere else and have this happen and be fighting for our lives and not know how do we get through this. But we're put in this space here at St. John's with Pastor Bordelin and Martin and Thompson. And Jesus did it. He had to do it. It was a special time. It was hard. But we made it through it with people in this church. Pastor Martin would always say to us, Jesus. During the whole time with Ashley, Jesus.
We'd meet him in here, he'd come up to us and he'd look into your heart through your eyes and he'd say, Jesus. And that's what this church helps you focus on, and that's what gets you through it.
I know when Ashley was sick and we knew that she wasn't going to make it, you pray and pray and pray, and then it happens. Then what? I could never forget church, because when I'm not in church, I don't feel good. It's just an empty feeling, a really empty feeling when you don't have any religion in your life or you're not in church.
I've never been anywhere where you hear so much about the forgiveness of sins constantly and our baptism, looking back to it. They just impress that upon you so much. They make sure that you have God's Word and that you have Holy Communion, that you have everything you need to fight off the devil in this world. And that's what we want for these children coming up, That's why Christian education is so important to us. And we won't have children. That's our whole family. They're gone, they're in heaven, and we won't have them in the school, but we feel that the one thing we can do now is have hope and show that to the younger families. St. John's does everything they can to point you to the cross, and that's what we want for these young families. They need the help of us who've been there. They need the help of a Christian education. When I was teaching parochial school, sometimes I'd have parents who maybe their child was in our school for the first in their family or whatever, and they'd say, all that memory work, why is that, isn't that too much? And I said, the reason you have that in my heart was that those little songs, those Bible verses would be with that child no matter what situation they were in, and whether the Lord took them young or older, they would have those in their head. And we saw this with Ashley. Her confirmation verse was John 3:16, for God so loved the world. And we would sit there with her and the pastors and say that over and over with her. And the little hymn she knew and everything. And when she couldn't even talk or open her eyes, we'd put that right up by her ear and play those over and over, and we'd get a smile. What if somebody would have said no to Ashley and she wouldn't have found the church? When we lost her, we knew she was in heaven. And that's what we want for all the people here, whether they're 100 years old or one of the brand new babies. That's what we want for them. I don't understand how they can do it without a Christian education.